Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanadari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanadari Yasoda Nandana Bhajana Ranjana Yasoda Nandana Bhajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanadari Gopi Janna Vallabha Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanadari Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Jamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanadari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanadari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanadari Yasoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Jamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Hare Krishna. Sorry I'm a little late. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nasta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th Canto, Chapter 14, text 9? 11. Okay. Can you please read it?
Kvachadulu kala jalli svanavad ati parusha rabasatopam pratyaksham paroksham varupuraja kulanir bhartsitenati vyatita karna mula vidayaha.
Please read also everything else. Okay.
Sometimes the conditioned soul is very aggrieved by the chastisement of his enemies and government servants who use harsh words against him directly or indirectly. At that time his heart and ears become very saddened. Such chastisement may be compared to the sounds of owls and crickets. There are different types of enemies within this material world. The government chastises one due to not paying income taxes. Such criticism, direct or indirect, saddens one, and sometimes the conditioned soul tries to counteract that chastisement. Unfortunately, he cannot do anything.
Om Agyanit Mirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in darkest of ignorance. I, my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offered my humble respect and obeisance unto him. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, descriptions of how the conditioned soul suffer in the material world for so many reasons. That reminds me one story Prabhupada told about a Christian preacher went to preach in some country. They didn't know nothing about Christianity. So he went to the miners, and was preaching to the miners. You have to surrender to Lord Jesus, otherwise you will go to hell. Who's this Jesus? What is his number? Because all of them have a number, They said, no, it's not one of you. He's the Son of God and came to save you. If you don't surrender to him, you're going to hell. And hell, what is hell? You don't know? No, we don't know. What is that? Oh, hell is very dark and there's a lot of bad smells and fire, They look at each other, well, the mine is like that, so no big deal. But he noticed that they were not impressed by that. So he said, and in the hell there are no newspaper to read. Oh, that's horrible. No, we don't want to go there. Anyway, so what is food for somebody is poison for somebody else, Like Srila Bhakti Sundar Goswami, he opened a temple in Burma, Burma is a neighboring country with India. And the devotee, of course, they were cooking with ghee and on Sunday feast, invite people, everything. And the neighbors were complaining about the smell of the ghee. They said they could not tolerate it. They have to close the windows, make all arrangements, But in that country, Burma, they have a yearly festival. In that yearly festival, there is a favorite drink they take. And you know what is that? Liquid dog. They put dog meat and to ferment all year, and when it becomes liquid, they drink that as a nectar, amrit. They think it's very nice. So see how the modes of nature can make the conditioned soul so foolish, so ignorant, can enjoy any horrible thing as something nice. So here it is being explained that that the conditioned soul is sometimes chastised by his enemies or government servants. I have experienced that in Mexico. People who come to the temple and they have a good job with the government, but the government start to, squeeze them up, They're underpay them, and they may make work more hours than 8 hours. They're supposed to be 8 hours, but they make them work 10, 11, 12 hours, and they don't pay them for that. And if they protest, they lose their job. That's simple. It's just like dictatorship. But and supposedly it's a democracy, but in practice, the things don't work like that, And of course, there's a lot of corruption also, Everything works in Mexico, what they call mordida, which means bribe, Mordida means to bite. Yeah, Yeah. So if they stop you because you pass traffic light, you just have to offer, a bribe to the officer, you go freely. They'll tell you frankly, if I give you a ticket, it's gonna cost you, let's say $200. But if you give me $50 now, you can go. No big deal. Oh, people fall for it, of course. I guess in India it's also like that, no? A lot of corruption going on. 3 years ago, I was in India, and the government decided to cancel the validity of 500 rupee bill. And they have certain time to go to the bank and to acknowledge that they have this money. And that means they have to pay tax for it. They were so angry. Everybody was so angry. All of them have money that they don't, pay taxes for. Black money. They just hide it in their home. They don't put it in the bank. So all the people so agitated they have to, because they avoid paying taxes to the government. So very cleverly, they decided to do this, to force people to go. Otherwise, after such date, that currency will not be, has no valid. You will lose all your money. So they were forced to do it. And they were suffering like anything, isn't it? You remember that? It's a true story, Anyway, I have some 500 bills. Luckily, one devotee had helped me with that. Not much, few. Anyway, so talking about corruption, and I'm going to tell you one story about Akbar and his ministers, about corruption. I don't know if I'd say it before, maybe. The thing is that in Akbar's government, it was found that one of the ministers was corrupt. So Akbar was going to kick him out of office. But he had some other friends, ministers, and they pleaded for him, oh, please give him another chance. He will not do it again. It is the first time. And so many talk. But Birbal said, no, I don't agree with that. Once somebody is corrupt, he will remain corrupt. It's very difficult somebody to change. Of course, unless somebody become devotee, then it's another story. I remember in South America, a man used to come to the temple, a young man, and he will go with old shoes, put them there, and take the new shoes, put them of the guest. He will put the new shoes on, and every time he will do that, every time. Finally, the devotee caught him, red-handed. And of course, they chastised him and they prohibit him from coming to the temple. And after like 1 month, so he came to the temple crying, I miss the prasadam, I miss the kirtan, I miss the devotees. Please, I come to surrender. I'm not going to steal anymore. Please give me another chance. The devotees were, soft-hearted. Okay, we give you a last chance. He became one nice devotee, big Sankirtan distributor. Anybody can.
He started stealing again.
Huh?
So you're saying he was reformed? That's your.
Yeah, he reformed. If somebody becomes a devotee, he can reform. But if somebody doesn't become devotee, it's difficult to reform. You know the story of a thief who was traveling with all the pilgrims in, visiting holy places. He was trying to reform himself. He didn't want to remain a thief. So, and for weeks traveling different holy places, one night he could not sleep. They were staying in the Dharmashala. He could not sleep. His hand, they were itching him. A bad habit is very strong sometimes. So he did something at night. All the pilgrims were sleeping. It was in the middle of the night. Woke up and did something. Next day morning, they found that their belonging was with somebody else. So they were fighting. Why do you have my bag? Are you stealing from me? No, but you have mine, and you have this other. And they big problem. So the thief said, sorry. Let me explain. It is my fault. I'm a thief. I'm trying to reform myself. Not like I couldn't sleep. I didn't steal anything from you. I just exchanged your bag from place to place. So my mind will be quiet. I can go to sleep. So that's the nature of bad habits, can pull you up, very strongly. So unless one wants to become purified, wants to become Krishna conscious, accept guidance from Guru and Krishna, there is external Guru and internal Guru. Chaita Guru is in the heart. He's willing to guide us also internally. What people call is the voice of your consciousness, Hunch. You have a hunch. It's more than that, actually. It's much more than that. It is when your moral consciousness tell you this is wrong, don't do it, you will be implicated. This is how the law of karma works. Suppose somebody is a thief and he's waiting for somebody to rob, and he see a man coming alone down the road at night. Oh, I'm going to steal from this guy. But Paramatma tell him, no, not this one. The one behind him, you're going to steal from that one, because that one he stole from somebody else, and now was the time for him to pay for his karma. So the nature of karma is very, intricate, complicated sometimes. We don't know how it works exactly, but it works, definitely. Without any error. There is no error. Because Krishna as Paramatma knows perfectly everybody's mind, activities, feeling, everything. Bhava Grahi Janardana. So if we take guidance externally and internally, sometimes what you write me, I have this idea, is it my mind or is it Paramatma? Actually, once the devotee asked Prabhupada that question, Prabhupada told him, it is your mind. Because when you have doubt, that means it is your mind. But there's something, I thought it's very easy to know. What you are receiving, is it in harmony with the Bhagavad Gita? What Krishna is saying, that you want to know what Paramatma is telling you, read Bhagavad Gita. He's speaking directly to you. If it says something different, then it is your mind for sure. So anyway, the other minister, they told the king Akbar, please give him another chance. And one of them, a close friend of him, said, I know a job he can do. He can't be corrupt. Impossible to be corrupt. And what job that will be? Oh, put him to count the waves of the Yamuna. Because the Akbar's capital was in New Delhi. So the Yamuna is close by. Give him that job. He will with paper and and a pen, he has to write how many waves comes every day. In that job, he cannot be corrupt. Impossible. And Birbal said, if somebody is corrupt, he will find a way to be corrupt in any kind of job. Okay, you disagree. Let's put the theory to test to see who's right. Sayyid Akbar. Okay. So they put him, the judge, he will go every day and count the waves in the Yamuna. But one day, a boat full of pilgrims passed in front of him. So he stopped the boat. Stop, stop, stop. Who are you? What are you doing? Oh, we are pilgrims. We are going pilgrimage. Oh, do you know that you interrupted my job? I work for the government, for the king, and you stopped my work. I was counting the waves, and you, by passing just in front of me, you didn't allow me to see the waves. So you are going to prison right now. Oh, we are very sorry. We didn't know. Excuse us. We don't know. We are not from here. Okay. We can make an arrangement. If you give me 100 golden coins, you can go free. But we are poor pilgrims. We have no money. We can give you 50 copper coin, No, it has to be 100 golden coin or you go to jail. You are too many between all of you. No. And one of the passengers told him while taking out his beard, I'm going to give you 100 lashes and you're going to jail. That was the king disguised himself in the boat, along with Birbal, both disguised there. They put him to test, So, I mean to say, if somebody is crooked, it's very difficult, to rectify. From the beginning, yes, of course. When a tree is growing up and go to one side or the other, you can put something to it and tie it, make it go straight. But once it is grown up, it's practically very impossible. So that's why it is advised by the Shastra in the process of anartha nivriti to take out the weeds timely. Don't let them grow more than necessary. It will be more difficult to clean them up. Of course, it's not easy, it's difficult because habit is second nature. But with the power of the holy name and the association of devotees and the reading of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is possible to get the strength to take the decision, like this thief who was traveling. Yes, he didn't steal, he just changed the things. It means you have to trick your mind sometime, Actually, the best preaching we can do in our life is to convince our mind to become a devotee and think like a devotee. That's the best preaching. Because Srila Prabhupada said the highest realization is to save oneself. Because unless we save ourselves, how we can help saving others? It's a fact. Should we read another verse, Dravida Prabhu? Yeah, please do. It would be nice. This is a very short purport.
Only one. Shall I read the Sanskrit or just English?
As you like.
Sayada dugda purva sukritas tada karaskara kakatundar japunya dhrumalata vishoda panavad ubayata shunya dravinan jivan mritan swayam jivan mriyamana upadhavati. Due to his pious activities in previous lives, the conditioned soul attains material facilities in this life. But when they are finished, he takes shelter of wealth and riches which cannot help him in this life or the next. Because of this, he approaches the living dead who possess these things. Such people are compared to impure trees, creepers, and poisonous wells. Report. The wealth and riches acquired through previous pious activities should not be misused for sense gratification. Enjoying them for sense gratification is like enjoying the fruits of a poisonous tree. Such activities will not help the conditioned soul in any way, neither in this life nor the next. However, if one engages his possessions in the service of the Lord under the guidance of a proper spiritual master, he will attain happiness both in this life and the next. Unless he does so, he eats a forbidden apple and thereby loses his paradise. Lord Shri Krishna therefore advises that one's possessions should be given unto him. Yat karoshi yarishnasi yat juhoshi dadasi yat tapassasi kaunteya tat kurushamarapanam. O son of Kunti, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities that you may perform, should be done as an offering unto me. Bhagavad Gita 9:27. Material wealth and opulence attained through previous pious activities can be fully utilized for one's benefit in this life and the next if one is Krishna conscious. One should not try to possess more than he needs for the bare necessities. If one gets more than is needed, the surplus should be fully engaged in the Lord's service. That will make the conditioned soul, the world, and Krishna happy. And this is the aim of life.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So it is very interesting that the verse said that he approached the living dead. He approaches the living dead. Okay, that's interesting. Who are the living dead? Must be ghosts, most probably. The living dead? I mean, okay, I mean, he himself is living dead also, if you take it in that, if you interpret in that way. But also could be possible ghost worship, because sometimes ghosts are more powerful than human and can give favors, you know. But in exchange, they have to worship them. And that's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says those who worship ghosts after death, they go live with them. Yes.
Dravinan, those who possess wealth are the Jivat Mritan, who are dead although apparently alive.
Okay, so, apparently alive, but
yeah, very
spiritually dead.
You know, we have examples, very wealthy, Bezos and these guys, you know.
Yeah, Prabhupada said the devotee approached one man to sell him the BTG magazine, and he denied, you know, and he was spending all his money in his medicine and doctors, you know, and after a few hours he died. He said, you know, he's a living dead. Of course, what they call people nowadays living dead is what they call the zombies. But you actually, you know, materialistic people are like zombies. They are illusioned so much by the material energy. They just, you know, like puppets, you know, in the hands of the three modes of nature. They just being pulled here and there, you know. They can't control their mind and senses. Prabhupada said that's like animal life, you know. The animal can't control their senses, but human being can. So if human being behave like an animal, so it's like living dead, you know, not aware. No? So, like I was explained the other day, that there are many people who are materially intelligent and they make a lot of money, you know, millions and even billions, you know, but they are unhappy. They are very unhappy and miserable because they were very enthusiastic in making money, but when they come to a point where they have so much money, they don't need, I mean, why? I mean, you can't, somebody else will enjoy their money after they die. They can't enjoy it in this life, you know. In Boise, I went to a funeral. The son of a devotee passed away, and family members came, and we have a talk with them and everything. And one of the men went to India. He told me, I traveled all over India, and I met one billionaire, very rich man, American, very billionaire. And we were sitting eating together, and he said he could not eat more than I was eating. He could not have more than one shirt or a pair of shoes. So, I mean, what is the difference, having billions or having much, much less? You can't enjoy more, but it's allotted to you.
Go play the chapati.
Yeah. So, and this is very interesting. Enjoying them is like enjoying the fruits of a poisonous tree. You know what material life is like? A very good example in the Shastra, that a man is being chased by a tiger, and he's running for his life. And he come to a lake, and the shore of the lake there is a tree. So he climbed on the tree and trying to save himself. In a hurry, he fall and he grabbed one of the branches. So, and beneath him is the lake, and there is a crocodile waiting for him. And the tiger is down there waiting for him. But above him there is a honeycomb, and dropping a little honey from there. So he opened his mouth. So sweet. I'm so enjoying. There is the crocodile waiting for him and the tiger. But meantime, I'm enjoying the sweet honey. This is material life all about. I mean, people think they're happy because they're enjoying their senses, But what is awaiting them? A lot of suffering. Because according to your karma, the more you enjoy sense gratification, the more you will suffer in your old age. That's explained in the Shastra. But people are so foolish, they think this is the all in all, this material life is everything. There is nothing more than that. No? So to save ourselves from all this ignorance, Krishna is giving us an opportunity, like we read this morning from the book Hare Krishna, about the chanting of Hare Krishna. It's a great opportunity. It's a golden opportunity brought to us by Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada. And if we take advantage of it, our life becomes sublime and successful. That's all. We must use our God-given intelligence to discriminate properly what is good and what is bad for us, So, and this verse that Srila Prabhupada quote from Bhagavad Gita, Yat Karoshi Yat Ashnasi, is very interesting because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained that this verse is actually speaking about Karma Mishra Bhakti. Devotional service mixed with fruitive activity. Because, okay, whatever you eat, first offer it to Krishna, Whatever you like to do it, offer the result to me. So, in a way, you do what you like, but you offer it first to. But pure devotional service is different. You first of all, devotional service means you don't offer something to Krishna. You offer first yourself to Krishna. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his prayers, he say, Manasa deho geho yoki chumor arpiluntu apade Nanda Kishore. My dear Krishna Nanda Kishore, I offer you my mind, my body, and my home. That's everything, isn't it? So once one offer oneself to Krishna, then naturally he will do everything for Krishna because he already offered himself to Krishna. But Karma Mishra Bhakti means you offer something you think belongs to you and you are offering to Krishna. So I be pious, not incurred in bad karma. That's better, of course, than being materialistic, of course, and don't offer nothing to God. But we should aspire to make more spiritual advancement and be more Krishna conscious, more eager to actually absorb ourselves in Krishna's service, offering oneself, like surrender. There's no way to advance spiritual life without surrender. Surrender our mind, our desires. So we have to do that if we want to make more progress in our Krishna consciousness. At the beginning of the movement, one devotee asked Prabhupada, how many pure devotees are there in the world? Prabhupada said, Secretary, how many devotees we have in the movement in ISKCON right now? Oh, Prabhupada, I think about 300. Prabhupada said, then we have 300 pure devotees. Of course, that means they are following purely. Prabhupada said, whoever follows strictly the 4 regulative principles and chants 16 rounds, avoiding offense, is pure devotee. Of course, there are different levels of pure devotees. Somebody can be pure devotee and at the same time Kanishta Adhikari. You know the story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and when he went to Varanasi, he had 2 followers there. Anybody remember their names? Chandrasekharacharya and Jagannath Mishra. Tapan Mishra, correct. So they asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to please speak with the Mayavadi sannyasis because they were criticizing him, you know. And Prabhupada explained they could not counteract that. They didn't have the knowledge, the shastric knowledge to defeat the Mayavadis. But they have full faith and love for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they were pure devotees. But Prabhupada said they are Kanishta Adhikaris. Of course, different meaning to Kanishta Adhikari is also explained, that somebody only worships the deity but doesn't recognize the devotee, doesn't know how to deal properly with devotees. But in this case, it's different. In the Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada explained more about that about different level of understanding the Madhyam and Uttama and Kanishta. Prabhupada said the Madhyam has full faith in Krishna consciousness, and he can explain the Shastra, but sometimes he can't counteract strong argument. I mean, Madhyam means he's eager to develop his love for God, for Krishna. He makes friends with devotees. He preaches to those who are ignorant compassionately, and he avoids those who are atheist or envious. That's the Madhyam Adhikari. But the Uttama Adhikari, Prabhupada explained that he can defeat any argument with the Shastra, with the knowledge, with the philosophy. He's able to do that. All right. Thank you very much for coming to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. If you have any comment, or please do. Please do.
You were saying that, you know, about the cheater.
Yes.
And gave the example, the taxes. People, the government is cheating them, but they're also trying to cheat the government by keep hiding. So everyone's cheating, right?
Yeah.
But I was thinking with Prabhupada. Prabhupada said he was told he had 2 servants, and one of them said, "This one's stealing." One of the servants was stealing. Prabhupada said, "That's all right, I pay him less." So it was averaging out. Prabhupada knew the guy was a thief, so he paid him less.
Yeah,
It balanced.
Yeah, because Prabhupada had an experience.
He knew
like that.
expertly how to deal with a person.
Yeah.
But, you were saying that, you can steal from this person because they were a thief in the past. You gave some analogy like that. So I can steal from you, or I can steal, well, not from Vaishnavas, but I can steal. I'm just the agent of their karma. They've all done sinful things in the past, and they've all stolen and cheated and stole somebody. So I'm just the agent of their karma.
But that's true. You are an agent of their karma, but by doing that, you are acquiring bad karma yourself. So in the future, somebody is going to steal from you, even you maybe may kill you. So, I mean, why you want to be the instrument of anybody's karma? We want to be instrument for the welfare of everyone. That's Vaishnava. He doesn't want to exploit anyone. He wants to. Actually, Prabhupada visited a friend in his Grihastha life, and he had his friend had a servant. So Prabhupada asked him, "How much you're paying him? Such and such." But that's very little. And the friend said, "That's no problem. The balance he'll take anyway. He'll steal anyway." So.
I thought you were going to tell this story, but I'll share it. The Prabhupada had a servant. Now, Prabhupada had a friend who had a servant assistant, you know, and paid him practically nothing. And Prabhupada said, how do you do that? How is he working for you? He said, everything I give to him to eat is cooked in pure ghee. So he won't give up, because where else is he going to get good quality prasadam cooked in ghee? So he said even he tried to leave one time, but he wasn't happy anywhere he ate. So he came back. I pay him less, but I give him ghee to eat some ghee.
This reminds me of one materialistic rishi in Vedic times. I don't remember his name. He said, Charvak Muni, thank you, that you have to eat with ghee every day no matter what, even if you have to steal, to borrow, to beg, but you have to eat ghee with ghee every day. At least they know how to eat nicely, you know. People now, they didn't even know. They eat the dead corpses, you know. They think microwave and something. I mean, even still devotee use microwave. I was surprised. I went to visit somebody. Can I heat up this? No, microwave, no, please. Our grandmother Kurma said that takes away 80% of the nutrients when you heat something in the microwave. So if you have it, throw it away. Don't even sell it. Don't harm anybody. Yes.
Good Saturday morning. You were talking about people stealing, and since I've been here for 6 weeks, I caught somebody taking 10 of our books, and I took them back from them, and so I'm kind of feeling bad in a way. Then the other question is, how do you tell the difference between a pure devotee or is it none of my business? I mean, there's different levels of pure devotees.
Yes. We asked that question to Prabhupada when he went to South America and Venezuela. One devotee asked him, Prabhupada, how we can recognize who's a pure devotee? And Prabhupada said, a pure devotee doesn't have material desires. So that's the test, you know.
Doesn't mean he doesn't have desires.
Of course, he have desire to serve Krishna, you know, to love Krishna, to develop his love for Krishna, you know. You can't live without desire. It's a symptom to be alive. But we try to purify our desires and make them more spiritual. That's all. That we can't live without feeling, thinking, desiring. A symptom of life. I mean, I've seen, you know, people coming to Krishna consciousness throughout the years, and sometimes some of them stay, some of them not. But I mean to say, it is difficult for most people to remain fixed on something. For that, we need to have conviction, you know. Sometimes they come very damaged, but still they can, if they are sincere, Krishna can help them. I remember one new devotee in the Temple South America, we called him the square japa man, because he will walk doing a square while chanting japa, but walking backward, not backward, making a square while chanting japa. And he became great Sankirtan devotee, temple president. I mean, but he came completely shing. No, of course, he surpassed that. Another one who was, he lived in India as a yogi. It was, you know, one day he climbed a tree in the temple. Prabhu, come take prasad. No, Paramatma told me I have to stay all day in this tree, you know. Of course, he was chanting japa on the tree, you know. So the devotee have to take prasad to him to the tree. But he also became a temple president also, later on, you know. I mean, you can never tell, you know, who can somebody be, you know. Krishna can make miracles, isn't it? So we have to believe in that Krishna can make miracles of us. We may be very, very fallen, very, you know, confused, but if we surrender Krishna, Krishna can make miracle with us. Can use us as an instrument. That's very important thing, to desire to be an instrument in Krishna's hand, you know. Like Srila Prabhupada, when he came to America, you know, said, please make me dance as you like, make me a puppet in your hand. So that's great, you know, that's beautiful, that's transcendental, you know. You know, that to come that close to God, to Krishna is wonderful, you know. And everyone has this opportunity. Anyone and everyone, you know. Any last question? Yes? Please do.
Maybe there's an editing mistake here. Maybe this text, it says, due to his pious activities in previous lives, the conditioned soul attains material facilities in this life, but when they are finished, he takes shelter of wealth and riches. Now here it says it's finished, but then he takes shelter of wealth and riches. It says it's already finished, but then he takes shelter of wealth and riches. How?
Interesting. He noticed that.
You notice that too?
So yes, but
what do you say?
What is his question?
But this is the question.
Yeah.
The question is, there may be some editing mistake in it. This was part of the marathon everyone's going through very quickly
Yeah.
of the in 1975.
Okay.
So this may be my mistake. I think I edited this chapter. So.
Okay, take the blame, Dravida. There is one saying in Spanish that nobody knows what he have until he loses it. You know, you don't appreciate something until you lose it.
It's a common experience.
A common.
I bet you have it in almost every language.
Yeah, it must be. So when somebody is rich and loses money, he's thinking of it all the day. So in that sense, it may apply that he's taking shelter of his wealth, in the sense he's meditating on what he lost, he's lamenting for it. Could be interpreted in that way, possibly.
Do we have our unembodied Vijay?
Yes, I'm here.
May
I?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, Maharaj, my humble obeisances. And the resident sannyasi who just mentioned my name, Badri Narayan Maharaj.
Yes, I meant it respectfully.
Yes, Maharaj, thank you for your mercy. Thank you very much. You're very kind. So my question is, if material chastisement makes me very aggrieved, in what measure spiritual chastisement, which is offered by the spiritual master to the disciple, could make me happy?
What does the spiritual master offer in the disciple?
In accordance with the translation to the verse you chose for today, verse 11, we see that the conditioned soul sometimes is very aggrieved by the chastisement of his enemies. But when the spiritual master chastises the disciple, is it that this chastisement is meant for making the disciple happy?
Yes, very good question. Thank you for asking it, actually.
You're welcome, Maharaj.
Very good question. It reminds me one pastime of Prabhupada, actually. I think was Tamal Krishna Maharaj was chastised by Prabhupada, and he relished that very much.
Sanatana Goswami chastised when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised was it Jagadananda for giving advice to Sanatana Goswami.
Yes. And Jayaranda felt bad, you know, and you're giving more mercy to him than to me. Yeah. So the story with Tamal Krishna Maharaj happened in LA. That he was the beginning of the movement. We're talking that's the beginning of the. He wasn't sannyasi at that time. He was directing the Harinam Sankirtan. You know, how devotees should dress properly, how they should chant properly. No same color socks and all these things. You know, he was doing very nice service. All devotees were appreciating his service, and Prabhupada came to know about it, and he was happy with it. But the devotee noticed that he was becoming a little proud. And Prabhupada knew about it. So one day he called him to his office and told him, You know, in this universe, there are many galaxies and planets, and there is small galaxy, you know, and there are many planets there. One of the planet, a small planet, is called Earth planet. And this Earth planet, there are many continents, you know. One of them is the American continent. The American continent, many countries, cities, and one of these countries is America, so United States of America, and there are too many cities in there, but one city is called Los Angeles. And in Los Angeles, I mean, so many neighborhoods and, you know, places. And there is one small place called Watsika Avenue, where is the Hare Krishna temple is. And there is a person in front of me who thinks himself to be very important. He appreciated that very much, you know. Another example is with Japataka Maharaj. That was in Toronto, Canada. He was new devotee. He just joined the movement there. And where Prabhupada was visiting, and one day he told Prabhupada, I am the most fallen. And Prabhupada told him, you are the most nothing. You are not the most anything. Thank you. We want to be the most something, even fallen. But we see in the prayer of Narottam Das Thakur, he presented himself as the most fallen, and therefore he claimed the mercy of Lord Chaitanya first. But that's not artificial humility, it's real humility. No? It can't be imitated, because it sounds artificial. You know, Prabhupada say, don't do anything artificial.
I could add something.
To your good answer, Vijay Prabhu,
Yes,
because it
Maharaj.
says chastised by one's enemy, but the spiritual master is not our enemy; he's our best friend. So chastisement from of course we don't see friends and enemies, but someone who's not your well-wisher, okay, you may get your feathers ruffled, but the spiritual master is offering chastisement just for our betterment.
Yes.
He's looking for our, so that correction, if I'm going off the cliff and somebody says, hey, turn right, then that's a good thing.
Of course.
So the miscalculation is seeing the spiritual master on a mundane level as some kind of enemy or a peer who's correcting me. It's not the same league at all.
Yeah. There are I remind you another pastime, but thank you. Go ahead.
Just that same principle is applied tatena kampam susimikrimano. When anything bad happens in your life and you think, oh, that's just my karma, Krishna's minimized it. He's my well-wisher. Yeah. But when people don't have that perspective, then when bad things happen, they blame this one, blame that one, they freak out, you know.
Yeah.
So that same idea that someone who's your well-wisher, he may take things away, you know,
Okay, thank you.
own good.
Before I forget, three things. Once a devotee asked Prabhupada, why you speak about the beginning of the movement as the happy days? Prabhupada said, because I didn't have to chastise anybody. But he said, I'm your spiritual master, it's my duty to correct you. So please try to, you are a grown-up man, don't force me to do it.
Prabhupada says that his father is gentle, kind, loving father.
Yeah.
He's a father, he has to correct his son sometimes.
Mike.
Because we should wrap up. But I was just saying that Prabhupada shows that story that his father, who was very kind and gentle, but his father he's his son, he's got to correct him. You know, boys do silly things. And Prabhupada said that his father, before he would chastise him, would apologize.
Yeah.
He would say that, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's father had to correct him, so what can I do? It's my job. So that's a Vaishnava chastisement.
Yes, because Prabhupada's father knew that Prabhupada was a great soul, pure devotee. He knew it. Anyway, the other story is when Prabhupada chastised the disciple, Prabhupada packed something to be sent. Yeah, I think it was Mukunda Maharaj to send to India, I think. It's a package. And there was a hole in the one side of the package. Mukunda offered Prabhupada, can I wrap it better for you, Prabhupada? No, leave it like that. But Prabhupada said, Don't argue with the guru, Even if anything is wrong, he's right. And Mukunda found out that in India, they always see if there is money, they open one side. So Prabhupada leave it off purposely so they can see there is nothing valuable in there. I was chastised by Prabhupada when I got initiated. Prabhupada looked at me after explaining the meaning of the name. He gave me Jagat Chakshur, which means the eye of the universe, the eye of the world. Prabhupada told the people, you remember always, he explained the meaning, and he then told the people, remember, whatever you're doing, you should always remember that God's sight is on you. And then he looked back at me while pointing his finger, and he said, you cannot hide from the eyes of God. He said with that tune, I can't forget it ever, Everybody was looking at me. Maybe he did something wrong, I felt so, caught up. Because a few days before, I went to the kitchen and stole a burfi maha sweet and was hiding, eating. Nobody's watching me. So when Prabhupada said that, and the way he said it, I felt, okay, he can read my mind, I got caught. Gauranga. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. Haribol.